Hey, what's up guys? Joel Hartman with Prospect Dugout here, and I just want to talk to you today a little bit about getting faster and the speed element of the game. When I played, speed was my biggest asset. I wasn't a power hitter. I was a good contact hitter and had a little bit of weight to me, and balls in the gap I could turn into doubles, but that was primarily because of my ability to run. And so I really worked hard at my speed. It wasn't something that just came naturally and whatever, it was whatever. I had to develop, good mechanics. I had to develop a strength training routine. I had to do the things that I needed to do to increase my explosiveness and strength and get faster ultimately. So I want to talk to you today about 3 things that you can start doing today that are going to make you faster. Number 1, you got to get in the weight room. Got to have strong legs. Deadlifts, back squats, front squats, and you got to be explosive with it too. It's not about the depth of the squat and saying, okay, I can lift all this weight. I want to be able to lift a heavy weight 3 times and do it in an athletic movement. When I'm on the base pass, when I'm in my base kneeling position, I'm not squatting down all the way to the ground. I am more in a halfway position or a quarter squat position, kind of like an athletic position, as if I were, playing basketball. So I want to be able to be strong, but I want to be able to be explosive as well. So that means you got to do box jumps, you got to do broad jumps, vertical jumps, anything that's training you to move more explosively. The second thing that you need to do is you need to stretch. Stretching is very, very important when it comes to speed, maintaining the speed, maintaining your health. So before you go to warm up for practice or for a game, you're going to get an active stretch. That means you're moving around, you're activating your muscles, you're doing, like high knees, butt kicks, some active lunges, some hops and things like that. Static stretching, you can do that a little bit, but that's really not what you want to be focusing on before you're going out to perform at a high level. At a high level. So you can do a little bit of static stretching before the game, but make sure before you go out onto the field, you go through a little bit of active stretch and some sprints before you get out there. All right, so here's a couple of examples of an active stretch versus a dynamic stretch. A dynamic stretch is going to be more something where you're going like this and kind of just hanging out for 10-15 seconds up, going to something else. Now this is okay if you want to do it early, like right when you get to the ballpark, and kind of just wake your body up, get your back loosened up, all that. But as you go out to the field and start warming up for practice or warming up for your game, that's definitely not something that you want to rely on solely. You definitely can do it, but realistically what you want to be doing is you want to be doing more of an active style stretch. So, and then a dynamic style stretch would be taking some of those concepts from a static stretch and turning it into more of an active style warm up. So talking about like toe touches, instead of going down here and holding for 10-15 seconds, let's turn it into something where I'm going to swing my back leg up and reach down and stretch out my left hamstring, and then switch and stretch out my right hamstring. Now it's not something that you're going to be able to do right away and go all the way down to the ground. I've done it for a long time, so it's a little bit easier for me. But as you work at it, as you get better at it, you're definitely going to be able to go a little bit further. So another thing that you can do is knee ups. Bring it to the top. Boom. You're stretching out your hip flexors, you're stretching out your quads a little bit. Same thing if you want to do a traditional quad stretch, is opposite arm, opposite foot, grab the ankle, go up on your toe, and then pull your leg up. It's just boom, that's the stretch, and then we switch. Boom, okay? So now we're stretching the calf out a little bit with an active stretch. We're stretching out the quad, the hip flexor. We're getting them going. We're still getting a little stretch. Same thing with leg swings, okay? Stretching out the hamstring, getting that ready. That's definitely something that you want to do before you go out for practice or for games. And then the third thing, the third thing that you need to do is you need to train running fast. So many guys that I see talking about speed and I'm gonna go do some sprints, I'm gonna go get faster, is they run these long sprints and then they do it again and again and again, and they're just tiring themselves out. That's not what it's about. Focus on, number 1, the explosiveness off the line. So work on your 10-yard sprints, maximizing the speed that you can gain from 0 to 10 yards. Try to get that under 2 seconds. Once you do that, then you move on to top speed drills, like 40-yard sprints, 60-yard sprints, a couple 100-yard sprints. But realistically, you want to be able to to run fast, you need your first 10 yards to be quick. You need to be able to get to your top speed as quickly as possible. If you can get there in 3 steps, that's amazing. That's awesome. That's what you should ultimately shoot for, is getting to your top speed in about 3 to 4 steps. Anything longer than that, you're taking up too much time at a lower speed that really is going to take too much time to get to the next base or to get to your 60-yard mark. Okay, and then one thing, talking about the 10-yard sprint and working on the starts, that's something where, yes, training and running fast a lot is going to help you get faster, but as you perfect that and you perfect the training effort, you need to move on to bigger and better things. So talking about fundamentals and mechanics, when you're doing your 10-yard sprint, you're really running hard for 10 yards, so probably about 11 or 12 yards. You want to make sure that the full 10 yards is 100% effort, and we're working on getting that weight going for 10 yards to maximize. I want to be able to be under a 1.7 second split when I do my 10-yard sprint. Okay, anything more than that, and it's taking me too long to get to top speed, and then when I get to top speed, I don't have enough time to really make a good time on my 60-yard dash. I need to get to top speed as quickly as possible. So it's very important that while, yes, you do work on your 60-yard dash, your 40-yard dash, 100-yard sprints, things like that, you need to work on your 10-yard explosive sprint for the start of your 60-yard dash. Boom, and just work on those first 3 to 4 steps. So I hope that helps. That's 3 things. Number 1, strength training and explosiveness. Number 2, stretching, active stretch before, the dynamic stretch, the long stretch at home, after the game, things like that. And then 3rd, you need to train running fast. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your attention. I really appreciate your time. I hope that you're doing everything you can to get better. I hope you're finding all the resources that you have at your disposal, Google and YouTube, to really find the things that are going to maximize your skills as a baseball player. If you got any questions, if you have things that you'd like to see us talk about, if you have some tips that you want to hear, hitting, fielding, pit, whatever it may be, make sure to leave it in the comments. We'll do our best to get something out there for you and let you know. I appreciate it. Make sure you're working hard every day.